What is up, YouTube? My name is Marcus, aka Apostle, and today we're going to talk about combat and Spellbreak. Before we do that, if you're into Spellbreak or really any other battle royales, be sure to check out my live stream down in the description below. I stream every day, and the more people that are in there, the more fun it is, so be sure to be in there. So, Spellbreak's combat is about a lot more than being able to just point and click on somebody and kill them. Outside of your aim, I would say there are two major things that influence the outcome of a fight. The first of these things is movement. With the current meta of Spellbreak right now, your aim is your offense and your movement is your defense. The reason that I say this is because there's only really two ways to defend yourself in combat. The first is to use your own attack to cancel out the other person's attack while it's in the air. This can work in a pinch, but it'll usually just leave you at a stalemate with the other person. Since blocking attacks really doesn't put you in an advantage, you need to be able to dodge the incoming attacks. The easiest way to be able to dodge attacks is by using the Blink rune. The Blink rune gives you a stock of 3 short-range teleports and has a really short cooldown. This makes it ideal for being able to dodge incoming attacks. But Spellbreak is a battle royale game and you can't always rely on finding Blink. It's just not going to happen every game. Some other runes that you may also find helpful are Featherfall, Shadow Step, and Flight. These aren't as effective as Blink because they only have 1 rune charge, and they also have long cooldowns, so you can't really spam them in fights. If you're using these runes, you're most likely going to want to find a belt that's going to give you extra rune charges. Outside of runes, your last defensive ability is your double jump. To get the most out of your double jump, you're going to want to start looking at the map as a parkour playground. You're going to have to use the environment to your advantage. You're going to want to be jumping through windows, you're going to want to be bobbing and weaving through all the corridors, and most importantly, you're going to be wanting to use smaller objects to help you reach higher places. Being able to move around the map quickly and efficiently is going to let you survive fights that you otherwise wouldn't have survived. Now, we've talked about movement. The second word that's going to have a giant impact on the outcome of fights is positioning. Now, you're probably like, isn't movement and positioning kind of the same thing? And yeah, they're yeah, a little bit. Yeah, they are. But they aren't 100% the same. Movement is going to help you get around the map easier and make sure that your character is where they need to be. Positioning is going to be your ability to look at the entire scenario and then position yourself accordingly. To do this, you're going to want to be able to take in as much information as possible. This means not just paying attention to where you are. You need to see where each of your enemies is located, what items you're running, and if possible, what items the enemies are running. You're also going to want to keep track of the surrounding environment. You almost never want to fight in a wide open field. The reason for this is there's nothing for you to hide behind if things get sticky, and believe me, it's going to happen. Almost every fight you're going to have in Spellbreak is going to result in a third party coming in and trying to kill both of you. You're almost never just fighting one person. This makes being caught out in the open really bad. You need to start using the objects around you as a shield. Getting behind trees or buildings or really just cutting off the line of sight between you and your enemy is going to decrease the damage that the enemy is going to be able to do to you and increase your chance of winning the fight. Now, the worst scenario you can be in is being pinched in between two enemies. The reason this is so bad is because it puts you in between two people that are trying to do damage to you. Even the players who have the best movement and aim in the game aren't going to be able to survive if they're getting focused down by multiple people. This being said, your goal in this situation is to be able to take the focus off of you. Once you start getting focused by 2 or more people, you want to start rotating. The worst place for you to be is in the middle. This means that you should always try to stay on the edge of the fight. Keeping all your threats on one side of you makes it much easier to dodge their attacks, and also increases the chance that the focus of the other players is going to switch to whoever's in the middle. Once you rotate out, you're going to want to assess the situation. You're going to want to take a look at your cooldowns and health. If you look at these and you think that you're in a good enough position to be able to finish everybody else that you're fighting, then go ahead and go back in. If not, you might want to disengage for a second and pop some potions before you go back in, or maybe just disengage completely and leave the fight. You only get 1 life in Spellbreak, so every decision counts. Let's talk about a situation where you're fighting just one enemy. In a one-on-one fight, distance is the key to success. I don't mean trying to get as far away from your enemies before attacking them. What I do mean is looking at your gauntlets and your enemy's gauntlets and positioning yourself based off the gauntlets that you have on hand. I'm going to try to break it down as simple as possible. Imagine you're running lightning or ice, and your enemy is running toxic or stone. You guys probably already know that lightning and ice are better at longer ranges, whereas rock and toxic are more of shotgun type weapons. So since you have the longer range weapons going into this fight, you're going to almost want to be backpedaling away from your enemy as much as possible. Keeping distance in between you is going to be able to negate their rock and toxic attacks and allow you to just pick away at them slowly. On the flip side, if you're running rock or toxic and the other person has a longer range weapon, you're going to want to try to jump on them as fast as you can. You can do this by sneaking up or using blink or your rune to get right on top of them. One thing you're going to need to learn to make the best of every situation is to be able to switch out gauntlets in your inventory. If you keep extra gauntlets in your hotbar, all you have to do is press the number on the hotbar and it'll switch out that gauntlet for the gauntlet that's on your left hand. If you get somebody low and they're getting away from you, you can switch to a longer range gauntlet to be able to pick them off as they're running away. This will help you solidify more kills in a fight. On the other hand, you can also bait someone in by using a longer range gauntlet and then switch to a closer range gauntlet once they get close. This unpredictability really gives you an upper hand in a fight. I made this video because of a request in my comment section, so if you guys have anything you want me to talk about, be sure to leave it down in the comments below. Also, if you found this useful, be sure to like and subscribe. I post videos like this all the time, and I also stream daily, so be sure to check that out as well. Anyways, this has been Marcus, aka Apostle, and thanks for watching.